The pasta experiment. I do not like cats. I have never liked cats. I have never wanted a cat. I have always wanted a dog, a chocolate brown Labrador. My soulmate had felt that she had enough to do looking after me and our three wonder monkeys, Jake, Robin, and Elliot. At one point, we did have two goldfish, Oddball and Snouty, but alas, they went the way of all goldfish. There were tears, but the kids said I'd feel better the next day. That was a long time ago. We live in Monaghan, the true centre of the universe, out in the country, surrounded by farms, fields, and hedges full of feral cats. They never came to the house for food, as they wined and dined on spilt milk from the surrounding dairy parlours and rabbits that litter our landscape. 2 years ago, a cat arrived at our door. I chased it. My soulmate chased it. Elliot, our youngest, fed it. It returned the following day with a kitten, and the day after that with another 3 kittens. I hated all of them, but Elliot seemed to get great enjoyment out of them, and as his main hobby up until that point had been executing everything in sight online, my soulmate thought he should be encouraged. She and Elliot promptly went into the pet store and came home with boxes of cat food, a little cat shed, and the cat and her kittens never showed up again. Around the same time, we decided to do the Camino as a family holiday. The Wonder Monkeys were 19, 17, and 15 at the time and were generally agreeable, except Elliot. Remoteness from a Wi-Fi connection and daily exercise did not appeal to him at all. So we promised him a cat of his very own on our return from holiday. Our daughter Robin's friend, Mad Siobhan, had lots of cats and a new bunch of kittens, so that's where we'd get Elliot's cat. I went along with it all on the proviso that I got to name the cat. The little furball duly arrived after our return home from Spain. She was the fluffiest cat we'd ever seen. So fluffy, in fact, that Mad Siobhan's family had called it Fluffy before they gave it to us. So naturally, I called it Pasta. Pasta had been the name of Elliot's imaginary friend when he was 2. The name stuck. Pasta was an indoor cat, or at least mostly indoor. She was permanently indoor for the first few weeks until she got her various shots, and then would venture out occasionally. She did all of the kitten things, being cute and whatnot, but I didn't fall for any of it. The rest of the family fawned over her, constantly taking photos and marveling at her climbing prowess and ability to do bugger all in a very cute fashion. She would allow Elliot to pick her up. She'd sit in his room while he did his homework. She'd laze on his bed when he was at school. She would sit on the back of his chair at meal times. She was devoted to him. I could see right through her, the manipulative little she-devil. She got away with murder. I wasn't allowed to put decorations on our tree at Christmas because I'd do it wrong. Pasta was allowed to climb to the top of the tree, knock off various family heirlooms to rapturous applause and much photography. In the new year, Pasta and I simply seemed to settle into our mutual loathing. And then a few months later, a little black kitten with white socks and a white patch on her chest appeared at our kitchen window. Pasta hated her with an intensity that shocked the rest of the family, but I knew was always there. She hissed and clawed at the window whenever the little black kitten appeared, but if she happened to be outside when the kitten arrived, she would bolt to the safety of the house, where she became brave again. My soulmate warned us all not to feed the kitten. We had a cat of our own and certainly didn't need another one. I fed the kitten. My soulmate chased it away. I fed it again. I don't think that I fed it simply to annoy Pasta, although that was certainly part of it. I fed it because it was so affectionate and grateful, unlike Pasta, who wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire. My soulmate kept chasing it away, but marveled at its persistence until she discovered that Jake, Robin, Elliot, and I were all feeding it surreptitiously. She eventually agreed that we could keep it as long as she named it. I'd been calling it Orca because it was black with flecks of white and loudly suggested this as its really cool name. But no, she was called Tuna. Tuna's arrival in the home prompted a change in Pasta. She became even more evil. The rest of the family said that she was just being territorial. Nope, evil. When she terrorized poor Tuna, the others simply said that they were playing. Nope, evil. They eventually settled into their respective territories in the house. Upstairs was Pasta's, the stairs were Pasta's, the kitchen was Pasta's, the sunroom was Pasta's, but the sitting room was Tuna's and Pasta's. Another change came over Pasta. She became nocturnal, sort of. She would happily sleep inside all day and then look to go out at night, but return around 11 or midnight looking to get back in. Sometimes she'd stay out all night. Perfect. I didn't have to look at her, and Tuna could relax wherever she liked. But a year ago, she changed again. She would go out in the evenings, come home at 11 or 12, but then look to go out again at times varying between 4:30 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. She would paw at our bedroom door until one of us got up, staggered downstairs, and either opened the front door to let her out or wandered into the kitchen, fed her, and waited for her to finish, and then let her out. I hated her even more. Pasta knew I hated it. Pasta walked past the open bedroom doors of Jake, Robin, and Elliot to scratch at ours. I'd give out to the kids for not letting her out. They all said that they didn't hear her. My soulmate said that she only heard Pasta when she would run and jump at the door to get our attention. Pasta overheard this. She never jumped at our door again. She pawed at it gently but consistently, knowing that I'd be the only one to hear it. I'm a notoriously light sleeper, having to remove ticking clocks from houses where we're guests. Pasta knew this. How did Pasta know this? Pasta had been studying me. Now she was experimenting. She would paw at the door at 5 a.m., scamper ahead of me downstairs, sitting on the wee window beside the front door, indicating that she wanted to go outside. When she felt that I'd got the hang of that, she would scamper ahead of me and go to the utility room off the kitchen, where I would absent-mindedly pour a packet of food for her. If I dared to go back to bed, she would wait until I settled back to sleep before gently pawing at the door again and leading me downstairs once more to the front door. Then, when she was happy that I could follow basic instruction, she changed it up. Now she would paw at the door, hide under the armchair on the landing, and observe me wander downstairs to open the front door and stand there in the freezing morning darkness in my boxers, waiting on a cat that was sitting halfway up the stairs, testing me to see how long I'd stand there in the cold. 2 minutes. Sometimes she would send Tuna to do her bidding to see if I would respond. I did. And then she cracked it. She stopped pawing at the door at all. I would then wake up wondering where she was and if she was all right. Now we have settled into a routine. Pasta goes out in the evening, comes home before midnight. I wake before 5:30 a.m., unbidden, and let her out. Then when I get up to start my own day at 7:30 a.m., she comes back in and stares at me until I share my poached egg with her. I now make 2 poached eggs every morning. In a reversal of Schrodinger's cat in the box experiment, yes, the one where the cat is both alive and dead until observed, in our house, I am Pasta's human. I am both useless and useful to Pasta while I sleep. She decides when to open the box. But while I dream, I run in Rossmore Park with my chocolate brown Labrador called Spud, and we are both happy. Please don't tell Pasta.
Paul, Pasta knows, and you
She
know she
does.
knows.
She does.